Why must you be so difficult to put your batteries in you?
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I find your lack of ease disturbing. What are you doing? Stop it, stop it.
Don't underestimate the Force.
I will.
Where you gonna go for your toy review? Short Long! Short Long! Action figures, big movies, big news! Short Long! Short Long!
What up, big kids? Here's your big review of the Star Wars A New Hope Hot Toys Darth Vader Movie Masterpiece 1/6 scale collectible figure. I picked this up at Comic and Figure Addicts in their store in Union City. So check them out at CF Addicts on Facebook and Instagram as well as YouTube. Make sure to check them out, link is in the description. The back of the packaging says Darth Vader with a big old warning label. Warning, don't choke on your Darth Vader. You find your lack of faith disturbing. When you open up the box, you get a really cool insert of Darth Vader with the Stormtroopers and the Death Star in the background. It's really nicely done. The Darth Vader out of the box is a very beautiful figure and the sound effects are amazing, but definitely there is some frustration to this. It's definitely not without its hardships. This has to be my favorite Darth Vader head sculpt I've seen on a 1/6 scale figure. I have the previous two Sideshow. The proportions on the helmet just look pretty accurate, especially considering this is a New Hope version. I know in A New Hope he should have red eye pieces, but besides that, it looks pretty spectacular. I love the paint apps on the chest piece with the silver, red, and greens, and his upper armor looks great. I love the shoulder pads and this chest piece right here. Belt looks absolutely sweet. It does light up too, which will show her they each take the two little mini batteries they come with, and the leather on here is really nice. They did a new thing where they put the gloves with this little Velcro, so when you change out the hands. I also love the cape. The cape material is just really nice, and even like this little leathery under tunic that he has. It has a little wire on it so you can kind of pose it, which is really nice, and I love the ankle armor. The shin armor is just really sweet. I love Darth Vader's costume. I think Hot Toys really did a great job accurately portraying the New Hope version. Darth Vader stands right about 14 inches tall. You can see he's in great scale with other Hot Toys figures like the Obi-Wan Kenobi. And when you compare it to the Sideshow Collectibles A New Hope Darth Vader, you can definitely see that the proportions on the Hot Toys one I think is a lot better, especially when it comes to the helmet. The Hot Toys Darth Vader on the left, Sideshow on the right, which do you think is better? When you compare it to the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader that came out from Sideshow, really nice figures, but it's more so you can tell the differences in the costumes themselves. You can definitely tell the differences in their helmets and their chest plates. Articulation, Darth Vader's head can fully rotate. It can look down just that much. It looks up that much, so just a little bit, and pivot side to side. His arms can only go up that much because of the shoulder pads and everything restricts a little bit. It can go in and out that much. It does rotate the bicep, bends at 2 points at the elbow, rotate the wrist as well as go in and out. He does have upper ab crunch that goes forward and back and can move left or right. He does have a little waist joint that moves left or right. His legs can only go forward that much, can go back. He can't go in and out that much. Rotate the other part of the leg. He does bend at 2 points at the knee, and his ankles can pivot forward and back. It can fully rotate, and he does have an ankle pivot side to side, but just a little bit. These are all the accessories you get with your Darth Vader figure. You get two sets of instructions, one on how to do the lightsaber, one on how to place the batteries, and he has quite a bit of batteries. It's very cumbersome and time consuming, but if you have a Hot Toys Iron Man figure, you know what to expect. You also get instructions on how to do the little base for the interrogator droid. You get a clear pair of tweezers to put the batteries in Darth Vader. You get a total of 9 hands. You get a pair of fists, a pair of open palm hands, a pair of posing hands, they call them, a pair for holding the lightsaber, and you get a force choke hand, which is really cool. Find your lack of faith disturbing, and a pair of wrist pegs in case you break them. For the Darth Vader, it has a little piece for Velcro right here, so when you place on the hand, you Velcro the little part of the glove. You get an interrogator droid with Darth Vader. He comes with 7 different pieces to put on there, like little needle and pliers and things that I don't want to think about what they did to the Princess Leia and the Rebels with these things, but you want to be very careful when putting it on there. Make sure to follow the instructions so you don't break anything, but really nice detail all around on this thing. It comes with a clear cradle and this little black plastic base. It's kind of cheaply made, but you can also take it off this thing. You also get a Star Wars Darth Vader base. It has that adjustable cradle that you can place on anywhere, and you can take the base for the interrogation droid and you can place on here. The only problem is when you have Darth Vader on there, it's sturdier on there, but Darth Vader kind of gets in the way of it. Where is she? Where are the other trucks going? Swear to me. Hey. I imagine that the droid would sound like Batman if it had a voice. For weapons, Darth Vader gets two versions of his lightsaber. He gets this one, which you can place on his belt. Really nice details. You also get the removable lightsaber blade, which you can place on it if you choose to display him without it being lit up. You get the interchangeable arm with the light up effect for the lightsaber. You can put the blade on here, and it does light up with the switch right here. Just like Obi-Wan, removing the arm isn't too difficult.
Not again.
Before you place the arm, you want to actually place the glove and then Velcro the rest of the glove to the actual hand. Then you actually want to place the arm connected to the bicep area. And once you got everything situated, there's Darth Vader with his light up lightsaber. You can see it's actually pretty bright in low light settings. It definitely looks very cool. Also, each section of Darth Vader's belt has a light up feature with a switch that's on the bottom right here. You can see it does show up nicely in the dark too. Definitely this figure goes with the Obi-Wan Kenobi that Hot Toys released. They look amazing together. And look how cool these figures look in the dark. Ah! Now the last accessory you get is this remote control that does come with the batteries. It has the W and A as the button. Now this activates his sound. You have to turn on not only the remote but the Darth Vader figure, which it's really hard to get to the switch and the batteries. They make you derobe the whole Darth Vader to get to this point, but you can actually feel around for the switch. And when you flip the switch, it'll make the breathing sound. Now before I show the sound features, I have to point out it's very, very frustrating. 3 layers, you know, between the cape you have to take off and this. And the switch is like somewhere here, which you can turn off. And you only have a 15-minute window to use the sound activation. Otherwise, it'll turn off. And even turning it back on and off, you'll have to worry about the batteries. So putting the batteries is so tough in there because the seam like goes in and it just like stops right here where the batteries are. And it's really hard. And if you lose a battery, it goes down his pants and it's a nightmare. So a lot of frustration. Keep that in mind. Now besides the breathing sounds, he has a few other sound clips, including
A tremor in the force. The last time I felt it was in the presence of my old master. Don't underestimate the force. I find your lack of faith disturbing. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. Your power was a weak old man. The force is strong with this one.
So he has a great amount of voice clips from A New Hope. So make sure to flip the switch off before it goes off automatically. Otherwise, you'll have trouble making sure if the batteries are on there. So keep that in mind. Overall, this is one of the best Darth Vader figures we have gotten. However, he is not without his problems. The frustration in putting in the batteries, having to go through layers upon layers. I wish Hot Toys implemented a different approach on doing that. I feel like there's a way to put in batteries without having to disrobe him. I absolutely love the sound clips that are included with this figure. It makes it really worth the $300, but because of the way you have to put in the battery, some collectors might just forget it altogether. Without even the sound effects in itself, this is a really nice Darth Vader figure. The accuracy and the detail in the costume is just absolutely amazing, and I do love the light up effect in the lightsaber. If you only had one Star Wars figure from Hot Toys, this is the one to get. You can buy this for $300 through Comic Figure Addicts, and if it's sold out, you can get through Sideshow Collectibles. Hopefully in the future, Hot Toys fixes their battery issue, and hopefully that there won't be any frustrations going forward. But besides that, I do highly recommend this figure. For more, check out my website at SeanXLong.com as well as HugeNerd.net. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, links in the description. I'm Sean Long. Have a happy new year and live long and love life.
The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Only a master of mouth breathing Darth. Did you lose your breath putting in the batteries in you? I know Sean Long did. Felt a great disturbance in the force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and suddenly silence.